Hi, everybody. Welcome to a bonus episode. I'm your host, Tane, and this bonus episode is going to be the challenge final. There wasn't an episode last week because it was basically part one of the final, so I figured I could just speak a little on it and then talk about the part two of the final, where we finally have the winners after watching all season. I will say, though, guys, I logged onto Twitter and somehow there was an account. There are a lot of spoiler accounts, and I feel or I thought I had put in all the right things, but this fell through the cracks. I don't know how this account got it, but they had a video. They had a video of the winners just jumping up and down and celebrating. They had video of the confessionals, and I found out who won before it aired. And that was very annoying. I always try to avoid spoilers for competitive reality shows, and this really just really pissed me off. Why do people do that? Like, it's one thing to talk about it or to write it in comments, but to actually put video of it, I wasn't expecting it, but that's besides the point. Okay, so last week the vets were very embarrassing as far as I was concerned, except for Michaela because she had a bum ankle. So, what could she do about that? I was mad at Olivia because she just kind of assumed that Jeremy would do all the tasks. Like, I feel like at least pretend, at least be like, oh, yeah, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want me to do it? Because, I mean, I think Jeremy was going to do all the tasks anyways, but, Theo, he just gassed out. I don't know. I think Theo should realize we are never going to get War of the Worlds Theo anymore. Maybe just be like Amanda, who knows, like, maybe it's going to be hard to win again and just kind of stick to the entertainment. But, some people are good at eliminations, the Theos, the Anisas, but in finals, they're not really the greatest because wasn't it the World Challenge one? He was there with Sarah and something. Well, he had an injury, so I guess he couldn't make it. But he doesn't have the best luck with finals. Let me put it that way. So World of the Worlds was his peak. It looks like. So yeah, Turbo was being a hypocrite. I'm still talking about part one, guys. Turbo was being a hypocrite. I just don't know what he has against. He feels threatened by Jeremy, and also with Theo, he's like, "Oh, don't let Adrian do it. Like, you have to be the one to do it." But Sydney was the one who did the swimming, so I don't get his logic with that. Good on Sydney. Part one, she did all the work. She backed up all the shit talking that she does. Like, I was very, very impressed. Like, the girl I don't know why she's saying like she's not coming back. I wonder if we're going to find out in the reunions why she's not coming back. But it'll be interesting to see her come back because I like that we're having more competitive women. I feel like for a time we did not have enough. We just had like a handful, and she's annoying, but she backs her shit up. So I'm not mad at that. Poor Michaela with her bum ankle, but my God, doing all of that, completing a final with a non-existent ankle, I am impressed. I am very impressed. I don't know if you guys remember, there was an episode where I said it was the episode where everybody kind of turned against Michaela and Cedric, basically just thinking that they're liars. Whether or not they did so, perception is reality in this game. So I'm thinking, like, I was worried that if Michaela and Cedric do come back, how are people going to receive them? Are they going to be seen as people that can't be trusted? They might still fight that battle. But I'm thinking that, with this happening in the final where something has happened to her ankle, this is the second time that she's kind of not crashing out, but her body has betrayed her on a final. Her first final in the Challenge USA, her body gave out and she had to be DQ'd. And then now this happened with her ankle. And, if it's a pattern, why not use it to your advantage and be like, at the finals, my body always betrays me. So you want to keep me in a final and run a final against me. Just a thought. I was just thinking about that. Oh, by the way, Olivia and Theo had their baby. And my random thought is, how is Theo planning to split his time between his two kids? Because one kid is based in America, the other kid is based in the UK. So, I hope he's not doing that thing where they give all the responsibility to the mom and, you just go visit. So I'm curious how he's going to do that. Okay, so this episode, part two, we get right into the overnight section. And TJ asks if anyone wants to stake a claim on anyone's partner. Meaning that, and he says, and I mean anyone, meaning that the new threat rule is a bust. What is the point? Why did we have this all season long just for us to just be like anyone can pair up with anyone? Also, how would this have played out after having a grueling part one? Then you do something and then you change up. What was the point of this, honestly? Everyone runs through, their options. Sydney says that as much as she's frustrated with Turbo, he is ridden for her and she truly loves him. Olivia says, like, I do not want to be partners with Theo. Everybody has been saying things like, how has Olivia not gotten the ick from just seeing how Theo performed this season? But she just says that it's been giving her the heebie jeebies and she'd like them to stay boyfriend and girlfriend and not partners. When even your girlfriend does not want to be your partner, that's a problem. But yeah, no one takes a claim. I don't understand how that would have worked. I don't know if it was just for entertainment and they were very confident that no one was going to stake a claim, but it would have been interesting to see how that played out. They do have to do something where one person in the duo goes into the tent and the other stands on a log. If the person standing on the log falls asleep or if they fall off, they have to switch places. The way TJ said it, I thought that if they fell off the log or something, there was going to be a penalty. It's basically switching out. So I don't know why he said it that way. So because Sydney and Turbo are in first place, they only have to do it for 6 hours. Cedric and Michaela have to do it for 7 hours. Sydney was very pissed at this because she's like, for all the things that I did, busted my balls for the first part, it's only a 1 hour difference between the two. And honestly, it's valid because listen, that Stairmaster challenge, I hated it. I'm just like, it's an equalizer. It removes all the work that you've done. You are first in whatever position you're in, you still have to wait and you're dependent on the people coming after. And then it sets you back for a long time. Little did I know there was more to come on that. Olivia and Jeremy had to do it for 8 hours, and Theo and Adrian had to do it all night long. So TJ tells them that they can untether for now. Remember, they're holding their ropes all through the final. But then he says, do not lose your rope because you will need it tomorrow. But of course, it was a voiceover. So it was spliced in. It wasn't, we don't see TJ actually saying it. But I think they did that because of what was to come in the morning. So all the men start first. They all stand on the log. And the first man to switch over was Jeremy. No grep there. The man did a lot of work. And Theo, because of course, Theo. My girl Adrian keeps them going when she gets on by talking their head off. She's like, I can talk. So she tries to keep them awake. I just love Adrian. Cedric stands for 3 hours before the switch out and even tells Michaela, like, if she gets tired or sleepy, just let him know. What a gentleman. Sydney is having commentary saying, like, she manhandled Turbo the first night and now he wants to prove like he can hold his own because Turbo stood there for a while and was like, oh, don't worry, I got this. But she's like, she needs to get him off because she needs him to get some sleep so he can perform better for the next day. I was just surprised that every time someone was standing on the log, they would just call out to their partner in the tent and the partner could hear them. And I'm like, were they not sleeping? How are they able to hear them and, wake up? And also, it seems to be very, very cold and it just looks very uncomfortable. So Olivia has her montage. At the time, she's the first, so I didn't realize that they were going to do this for all of the finalists. Basically, just talking about their journey through the season. She mentioned how she was a target early and she came into the challenge sober and training hard 3 months prior, not drinking. And she said she came in ready and she was going for the win. Theo has his, talked about how he worked hard and the eliminations and things like that. And they start climbing the mountain. So the whole goal is to, I'm sorry, they did not climb a mountain. They were still there. They just got out of their tents. So Cedric and Michaela are looking for their rope. And they're looking around saying they put it on here, they were going to get it. I mean, I don't want to say rookie mistake because Michaela is not a rookie, but they needed to have held on to that thing so tightly. And somehow we get a confessional from Theo because, of course, Theo is involved. And he's like, well, I think we have our rope. Like, we had our rope. There was one in front of our tent. I picked it up and I have mine. But either way, there's a rope missing. And I'm like, Theo, never beating the cheating allegations, but also, where is the footage? Where's the footage? Because I assume the camera is trained up on them. So why do we not know who, took the rope? Like, producers are really slipping. We had the first big cheating scandal, and we couldn't roll the tape. Why can't we roll the tape for this? They're just, 8 people. So TJ tells them that the final is going to be a race to the summit of the mountain. I'm looking at it as full circle because on the first day of the challenge, they all had to run up a mountain. So it looks like they're doing the same thing. Turbo says this is bad. Like, if your lungs are not ready, no matter how much training you've done, this is not going to work out. On the way up, there are going to be checkpoints for them to complete. This was a little confusing to me because I assumed there would be like 8 checkpoints. I don't know why, because I saw checkpoint 8. So maybe it's a continuation from the night before, or maybe that's what that was. And then this was just a continuation of the checkpoints all through the mountain. So TJ asks about their ropes. Does everybody have their rope? And Cedric explains that, they don't have theirs. And TJ says, well, it was your job to hold on to it. And you get a 5-minute penalty. Doesn't sound so much, but you can get a lot done when you're running in 5 minutes. So they wait. Cedric has his montage, talks about his journey, talks about his accolades and how he was first draft pick. And it was actually pretty impressive. So as the teams are making it up the mountain, I'm like, wait, the producers and TJ and them all make it up to the summit? There is no way in hell golf carts are making it in here. Are they going to get, they can't get on a helicopter and go with them? The cameraman have to film them? Like, what is, I want to know. So if anyone knows what the answer to this is, I want to know. So the first checkpoint involved answering 4 questions about your teammate, like their middle name, their zodiac sign. And if you're wrong, you have to run down and then you have to get a number. Sydney, like I said, has been backing all her stuff, gets all hers right, and Turbo doesn't, so he has to run and get it. Jeremy and Olivia, they get incorrect questions, and Michaela and Cedric, they keep going back and forth. Like, I think at the end, Michaela was like, oh, wait, your middle name is Juan? And she's like, yeah. It's very interesting to me that you could be partners with someone for, even if it's a week, knowing that you're in a game and just it might come up and you don't know certain things about your partner. And they've all lived in a house. Granted, some of these people didn't talk to each other. I don't expect Michaela and Olivia to know that, but I don't know. It was just weird to me that they didn't know certain things about each other. Sydney and Turbo finish first eventually, and then they start going up for the rest of the checkpoints. At this point, I thought they had 7 more left, but maybe I had it wrong. Turbo has his, and his montage talks about his journey. He says he won the first time, but he wants to win to make his people proud. But yeah, like I said, how do you not know their birthday? How do you not know their middle name? I don't know. I always ask people, like, hey, what's your middle name? It's just fun to know, too. Jeremy and Olivia finished second. Theo and Adrian finished third. And Adrian already feels like her body is shutting down. And Theo offers to just pull her. And she's like, I don't mind, but it just feels like physically I can't move. And she feels like her body is shutting down. Theo helps her. He does say, like, the way that she helped him yesterday, that he would like to help her today, and he hopes that she gets a second wind. The next checkpoint is yet another wait for someone else to get there until you can proceed. I hate these so much. I really do. Like, we had 1. Why do we need to have 2? And it just really slows you down because, like, we can.
The holidays are almost here, and if you still have names on your list, don't panic. Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. You'll discover presents that feel meaningful and personal, never rushed or last minute. Uncommon Goods look for products that are high quality, unique, and crafted by independent artists, so every gift feels special and thoughtfully chosen. I saw these super comfy crewneck sweatshirts by Kindle and Jake Chambers, where you can have your pets' cute little faces custom embroidered on them. And I just know my friends with fur babies would absolutely love them. So they're in my cart. I'm going to get them for Christmas gifts. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. So don't wait. Make this holiday the year you give something truly unforgettable. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/altacallmafs. That's uncommongoods.com/altacallmafs for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Alan, Cedric, and Theo and Adrian were so far behind that whoever lost was going to have to wait for them. And also, it was Connect 4. I'm trying to think if I'm really mad at it because I know the main star of the final is just hiking up the mountain. And this is what we've seen in the past. Remember X's when they had to hike up a mountain in the snow? I remember, what's the last one Johnny won? Was it Total Madness? They had to hike up also in the snow. So it's basically a whole bunch of running. At least it wasn't swimming. But they have to do that. So maybe they have to make it easy. The altitude is so doesn't help, and everything is just much harder, so maybe it did have to be something like this. So not a puzzle, not anything, because that's just too much to ask for, and they're putting their body through hell. So maybe when I think about it, I'll think about it more fondly. But Turbo proves, his melt and why he's a champ, because he's basically good at this, and they win. And even Sydney is like, he has a next level brain, and they're even now. Jeremy and Olivia have to wait for a team. So Theo and Adrian are neck and neck with Michaela and Cedric, but Theo and Adrian get there first. Theo says that him and Olivia played this game all the time at home and she never wins. This wasn't any different because they win. And somehow Theo and Adrian are in second. I'm like, what? This game. This is why we love it. But they start going up, and Adrian is like, she's seeing stars, she's getting tired. And then Jeremy has, his montage and talks about it. And we included in the montage while he's talking about his journey, we get a glimpse of the stake of claim that we never saw, the one against Will. We never saw footage. We just saw him coming to the deliberation like he was Jesus and just, oh, you won. Okay. That was it. So we saw a little bit about it. Cedric and Michaela win, and Jeremy and Olivia are last, and they literally have to wait there for 10 minutes. 10. I don't know how they come up with the numbers. When Michaela and Cedric were starting out, it was 5 minutes. So if they lose this for it to be 10 minutes, like what was the logic with that? So Olivia says it's worse because they just have to stand there. It is freezing cold. They're not doing anything, but we could see them stretching. And Olivia is crying in the confessional and just saying these are the times where she questions, why does she do this? Is she good enough? I don't think I realized that Olivia does carry a lot of baggage from her first season, because she does talk a lot about how people say she was carried with Horacio. I don't think I felt that way that season, because Horacio is a great competitor, but he was really bad at the social aspect. And I believe Olivia carried them with the social aspect. She had, she was polydicking with Nelson, and, she had conversations when they had to vote. And, she kept up with Horacio. And even after the baseball smashed her face, she still wanted to go. If they had let her go, she still would have done it. So I don't know where that came from. Now, the season, whatever season that was, Battle for a Champ, where she turned on Reese, I think that was a bad season for her, because everyone said how she wasn't doing anything. She wasn't working out. She was basically just chilling, but she wasn't with a partner. So I don't know. But I hope she's gotten rid of that and knows that she's a competitor now. So she says at this point, as they're waiting, they're basically going for third place. And now that they're about to go, Jeremy keeps telling her, we just have to keep up, we need to catch up, that we can do it, we can't stop, and he's going to lead the pace. She says she has no choice but to keep up with Jeremy. Michaela and Cedric catch up with Theo and Adrian, because Theo and Adrian took so many breaks. Theo looked so gassed, and Adrian she did her best. Olivia and Jeremy actually catch up, and suddenly Theo and Adrian are last, and Adrian is wondering if they even need to continue. Michaela has a confessional, and she does mention that, Jeremy's style gives Olivia, some gusto. She's not lying, because, Jeremy's not yelling at her. Actually, none of the men are yelling at the women, which is a drastic change, from the challenge history. And, I appreciate it. Everyone is doing their best. This final looks really, really hard. Kudos to all of them. All of them. So the producers tell Theo and Adrian, like, yeah, you're so far behind. You're fourth. Basically, you are not going to make it, and we don't need to keep filming you. Just go sit down. Theo does ask, can we quit? And then he does ask Adrian, like, is it okay? And I'm just so glad that he wasn't a dickhead to her. Like, he wasn't yelling at her and doing all that. But again, the bar is so low. I'm giving props for the men not yelling at the women. That's crazy. Adrienne says that she's so proud of herself, as she should be, and she has her montage, and she says she's going to come back with a vengeance. I really hope she comes back. She was great, and she's good at the confessionals, good at the social, good at the game. So I would like to see her again. Theo says that he's disappointed, but he's proud of Adrienne. And the thing about Olivia is that she keeps surprising him. And if she wins, then it's a win for them. I'm like, is it though? Michaela keeps passing out. Like, we just see her just fall and just pass out. The whole time I thought it was her ankle, and I didn't realize that she was passing out. So they're trying to keep up, because for Michaela, she just wants to finish given what happened in her last final. And Cedric was like, he's not going to force her if this is going to be detrimental to her health. And the medics want to check her vitals, and she keeps saying, no, 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 I have to keep going. And they're like, it's only going to take 2 seconds. Like, we need to make sure that you're okay to get up the mounting. She finally agrees, and she's good. She's cleared to go, but they've lost 10 minutes. So at this point, I think they knew that they were playing for third, and third gets $25,000. Very tiny, but still good money, guys. Any money is good money. So Sydney says that Turbo has been the best partner, and at this point they have to win it to honor everything that they have done in the challenge. Then we see them 450 feet from the peak, and Turbo suddenly says that he has lost his vision, he can't move anymore, and then we see Olivia and Jeremy pass them. This seems little from our couch. This seems very little, right? But the fact that they were fourth, they had a 10-minute penalty. Everyone is gassing, everyone is dying on this mountain, and they come up and they pass three people to get to first place. I'm sorry, y'all. That's hella impressive. But I can't believe it, and that has to hurt. Also, 450 feet from the peak, which must have felt like 20,000 feet for them. But they win. They just walk past and they win. Turbo is just like, I can't do it, and he's going, but he's keeps saying that he's lost his vision, and y'all know that Turbo does not do well in the cold. Um, um, they get there, and I'm like, where's TJ? I was wondering, how did they get to the top? Like, is the helicopter what? There's no TJ. TJ's you to say you are a challenge champion. We did not get that. They put their keys, they open it up, it says winner. Where is TJ? There is no TJ. Turbo says this is his worst memory of the game, and he's immediately medevaced, and we hear them say, like, he's looking like he's going to be hyperthermic, like his lips were blue and all of that. And I don't know. I see the final, but I'm just no eating. But it goes back again. I'm working this through as I'm talking to you guys. Like, maybe they couldn't do all of these things because of how, the mountain was, the rough terrain, and the altitude and things like that. So, yeah, maybe no eating, I guess. But it's just, yeah, you can't eat and have that in your belly and then start climbing that. So that's what I'm going with. But it's just the inconsistency of this show, because that's just been a staple for so long that I just have to get used to it and roll with it. Anyway, Turbo says that he's going to come back to the challenge even if he's in the hospital, and he's going to retire at 55. Turbo keeps pointing out that he's 37. He's 37, like he's older. When he won, I think he was 33 or 32. But I think he forgets, people like CT, Bananas, they're in their 40s. So I don't know. Stop saying that. It doesn't mean anything. We don't get a post-finish confessional from Sydney. I wanted to know how pissed she was. I wanted to know how she felt. Was she really mad at Turbo? Turbo himself said he was mad at himself. But how did she feel? Was she really proud of herself? What's going on? I know she mentioned something about, I don't know what's going on with Turbo. Hope he's okay. But I don't know how angry, like, it was at her fingertips. And she worked so hard to be a winner, and losing at the last minute. I don't know why we didn't get a post-finish confessional. Are they mad at her because she said she's never coming back? But she is at the reunion, so I guess we'll find out what she thought. Michaela finishes. She says she's not a challenge champ yet, but finishing is a step in the right direction. Jeremy's in tears and was like it was still hard. And anytime the challenge calls, he's going to pick up and answer the call. And I'm like, where is TJ? We are really not going to see TJ. This really, really annoyed me, guys. Like, even if he was on ground, like, I don't know. Theo and Adrian are in a heated tent and getting some fuel in them. But I was also disappointed that we did not get to see the point when Theo finds out that Olivia won. In fact, they didn't even really focus on them. And then they come back and then we see Olivia saying, we won, we won. And it just felt so anticlimactic. Everything about it was usually we have the winners, then whoever is second comes there, then third, then they all stand. I don't know. It felt weird. So, anyways, Olivia ends with I'm gonna get my chickens, get them, and then maybe start a family, and then they do the a few months later. And we see their maternity photos and the gender reveal, and that was the end. I don't even know what I was expecting. All I know is how I felt, and it was anticlimactic. But good on Jeremy for hitting it out the park on his first try. When you are that kind of person like Jeremy, Horacio, Emmanuel, it's good for you to get in your early seasons because they will never let you go again. But it's good because when he comes back, he's maybe going to be like a bigger threat than Bananas or CT and all that. But the thing is, he has youth on his side and he's pretty good at eliminations, and now we see a final because sometimes, like I said, some people are either good at eliminations or a final. So we'll see how it plays out, if he does come back. I know I was supposed to say like who do I want to come back and who do I not want to come back. It's really hard. A lot of these new threats were really good, but we really got to start building for the new set. We need to let some people go. Like it's time. It's time to let go of Anissa. It's time to, let go of Derek. And it's time to let go of who else? Who else keeps coming back? Unfortunately, I think CT and Bananas still have what it takes to bring entertainment to the show. I would have said it's time to let go of Nani, but she she brought some drama. Although on the flip side, I do want her to be okay. So if she's okay mentally, that's fine. It's okay. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't mind a lot of the people coming back, but I hope it's not a concentrated cast of just people from 41 because we need to mix it up. So we need to bring back some old people and just kind of get the mix going. I don't know if Tori, Devin, Michelle, they're all ready to come back. I think Josh Hernandez said he's not going to be on the season. Thank God. And I don't know. Is Fessy gonna come back? I don't know. Is All Star 6 gonna happen? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm okay with people coming back. I hope it's a good mix. I know we need to mix it up. We need to get some people from Battle of the Champions together. And but then who was good on there? I don't know. It's so crazy how they treated Emmanuel like a hot potato. We haven't seen him again. But looking forward to next season. I don't know what they're gonna do, but if anyone knows where TJ is, please let me know because I want to see. But yeah, so the reunion is going to come out. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but I am going to have a recap of the reunions probably at the end of all the reunions. So I'll find out how many parts there is and I'll be back with that. Hope you guys enjoyed the minisodes all through the season. It's been fun talking about it. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any questions. And until next time when I recap the reunion, I will talk to you then. Bye, guys.